Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. It's Tuesday. It's time to talk about some new releases coming out this Friday, May 12th. It's not a whole lot coming out, a little over 400 titles. I got 8 on my list for today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist that we put together, and also the Patreon page. Make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said in the intro, there's a little over 400 albums coming out this week. I'm only going to talk about 8 on the show today, so if there's something I don't talk about, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what else you're looking forward to picking up this week. And like always, if you're unable to find any of these in your local brick and mortar stores, I'll put links below in the show notes. All these will be available online. Not a super long list for this week, but there is a couple of things that I'm really looking forward to that I've already got on pre-order. I think there's some kind of under-the-radar stuff coming out this week also. But the first one, this is Daft Punk, Random Access Memories, first released back in 2013. It's their fourth and final studio album. This is a triple album. It's a little bit different than the standard release that's been available out there before. And this is the 10th anniversary release that they're doing. So this is a deluxe edition that includes 35 minutes of unreleased demos and outtakes. So there's 24 tracks on 3 LPs. Also comes with a 16-page booklet. This is a huge album. I think it was Daft Punk's only #1 album here in the U.S. Went on to win 5 Grammys, 1 Record of the Year, 1 Album of the Year. Just a huge release. To be honest, it's the only Daft Punk album I've ever listened to. This is a really good one. I don't own it. I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up, though. It's going to run you about $48 online. With that extra material, I don't know if it's really worth it to me. I don't know how much I'll listen to that extra material. I might just pick up a standard release if I can find one out there. Then you've also got Dropkick Murphys, Okemah Rising. This is a 12 studio album. It's going to run you about $28 online. So this is a follow-up to This Machine Still Kills Fascists, which is what they released last year. It was all recorded during the same recording sessions. I actually have this new album on pre-order since it was first announced. I'm really looking forward to this one, because This Machine Still Kills Fascists is a fantastic album. If you're not really familiar with what Dropkick Murphys did, it's an acoustic album. You know, this is the first acoustic album that they've ever done. What they did was they went through and used a bunch of unused Woody Guthrie lyrics for the tracks for the album. So it's the album last year was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this one. And it's a different album, sound-wise, for Dropkick Murphys, obviously, because it's an acoustic album. But also, Al Barr wasn't part of either one of these albums. He was off. He had taken a leave from the band. He was back home helping his ailing mother. So, not part of it. So, like I said, it's a different kind of album. If you're not all that familiar with Dropkick Murphys, I think it's definitely going to be one worth checking out. Fun is reissuing their debut album, Aim and Ignite, this week. This was first released back in 2009. It's going to run you about $33 online. It's a double LP. It reached number 71 on the Billboard charts. It is a great album. If all you're familiar with from Fun is Some Nights, I really highly recommend at least going back and streaming Aim and Ignite. I think it's a better album overall than Some Nights, even though I do love Some Nights. I'm actually looking forward to this one. This hasn't been released on vinyl since 2010. Those pressings go for a lot of money, and I wasn't really, worth. To me at least personally, it wasn't worth dropping that kind of money on it. I wasn't going to drop $150 on an album like that, but I'll definitely pick this one up for $33. It's I think there's also a Vinyl Me Please exclusive on this. It's like a split color vinyl. This is not a blue vinyl. It's going to be available at all your independent record stores. I think it's a pretty wide release that they're doing for Aim and Ignite, so I'm definitely going to pick that one up. And then you've got Moby ReSound New York City. This is his new album. So this is 15 re-recorded and reimagined tracks that Moby wrote in New York City from 1994 through 2010. I think it's going to be kind of an interesting release. There's definitely some bigger tracks throughout Moby's career that are going to be reimagined on this album. Two different versions of this going to be available. There's a clear version that's going to run you about $40, and then there's a black version that's going to run you $38. So a bunch of guest vocalists he's got on here. But you got Gregory Porter, Ricky Wilson, Margot Timmons, all going to be on there. I think this is going to be a good release. It's one of those ones I'm going to stream. I'm not a huge fan of re-recorded or reimagined music, but I'll at least give it a shot and stream it and check it out. There are a couple of interesting jazz releases coming out this week. This is Miles Davis Quintet, Workin with Miles Davis Quintet. First released back in 1960. This is part of Kraft Recordings' original jazz classics series that they're doing, which I didn't even know that was a thing, but now I'm kind of interested to kind of go back and see what else they've released, because I think this would be a really cool album. It's running about $34 online. This is all remastered from the original analog tapes by Kevin Gray. It was pressed to RTI, so I know the quality is there. I know this thing's going to sound fantastic. This is one of the greatest jazz lineups ever assembled. I didn't even know this thing existed, but after kind of reading through who was included in here, I was pretty excited for this one. So you had John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones, all on this album. That's like the late 50s, early 60s, man. That was like a who's who of jazz. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I'm definitely going to grab that one. And then there's also Art Blakey Big Band coming out. This was released back in 1959. I've never heard Art Blakey. Art Blakey, so he's always been this like small, he's a drummer first off, but Art Blakey, was always a very small, like 4-piece band. So to hear him with a big band is going to be kind of interesting. This is one that I'm not familiar with at all. If this is available on streaming, I'll check it out first before I decide to pick it up. But it's only running $28. If you're interested in it. I'm sure it's going to have a different sound than a lot of the other Art Blakey stuff that he's released over his career. And this is a reissue of the 2012 release. So, like I said, it's been around for a while. It's been available. I'll see if it's available on streaming and check it out. So one of those artists I think has kind of really flown under the radar over the last probably decade or so now, but is Parker Millsap. And his new album is coming out this week. This is Wilderness Within You. It's his 6th studio album. It's going to run at $23 online. And he does like a blending of like blues and country, alternative, folk, rock, just a lot of different stuff that he has in his music. Like I said, if you're unfamiliar with Parker Millsap, I highly recommend going out and checking his stuff out because, like I said, really kind of flowing under the radar. He's had some kind of moderate success over the last few years. But if you go back and check out his self-titled album from 2014 and The Very Last Day from 2016, I think those are probably his 2 best albums. So I probably won't pick this one up, but I'll definitely stream the new one and check it out. Then you get to Avenged Sevenfold, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet coming out this week. This is their debut album back from 2001. It's an okay album. It's something I haven't listened to in a really long time. It's gonna be on red vinyl. It's gonna run you about $20 online. I can kind of go without Avenged Sevenfold. They do have some decent stuff over their career, but this is one I really need to go back, I guess, and re-listen to. I haven't listened to it probably since it first came out, but I always loved the title of this. Sounding the Seventh Trumpet is actually something from Revelations. It was like signifying the end of the world. Really kind of interesting kind of an album, but it's worth checking out if you're unfamiliar with it. Well, that's what I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Like I said, kind of a short list, but I think there's some really good quality stuff. Definitely, I've already got that Dropkick Murphys on pre-order. I'll grab Fun. I'll grab that Miles Davis release. I'll kind of up in the air on that Parker Millsap. I'll stream it and check it out. But let me know what you're looking forward to picking up this week. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.